All right, welcome to week 8. This week we are looking at three closely related issues in Chapter 7, political parties, voter participation, and the electoral process. The framers didn't anticipate the formation of parties, and George Washington in his farewell address warned the nation in 1796 about the spirit of faction, which he feared would worsen the sectional divisions between the North and South and lead to war, presciently, I would think. However, the mid-19th century well, the mid-20th century political scientist E. Schattschneider once declared, democracy is unthinkable save in terms of parties. As much as we despair of partisanship inherent in political parties and party systems, democratic governance requires, especially in a mass society like ours where there's well over 300 million people now, people have to have a means of aggregating their interests and getting organized around a common set of beliefs. And people are going to differ on how best to govern. So as with the media, we can and should question how well our political parties perform in creating that sense of common purpose. If we agree with Schattschneider's analysis, it creates a real dilemma for a two-party system like ours. First of all, why do we have just two parties? There's a good reason for that, and I'll be happy to discuss that in the forum. Beyond that, what would happen if one of our parties just imploded, got caught up in a massive scandal to such an extent that it alienated all but a tiny fraction of its normal constituency? Something close to a party extinction event has happened to the Republican Party twice. Once during the Great Depression, when voters effectively blamed the Republicans for inaction in the face of the Depression and gave Democrats a supermajority for an extended period of time. And the second, in the immediate aftermath of the Watergate scandal, where the Republican Party suffered because they were tied to, they were tarred to some extent by Nixon's criminal activities. Can a democracy survive with just one party? There are countries where one party has enjoyed a predominant advantage in electoral politics for extended periods of time. Japan, for example, Mexico, South Africa. But there are problems with one-party democracies. They tend always to become corrupt. And it raises serious questions about the legitimacy of our political system right now, that our two-party system is really becoming, dysfunctional. I would argue that both our political parties have been seriously weakened by a variety of things, and I'll be happy again to go into that in the forum if you're curious. To me, my big takeaway from this chapter is that voters in America turn out at lower rates than other industrialized democratic nations for a reason, and that American voters, on average, are seriously under and uninformed. Why? As an educator, I believe part of my responsibility with this course is to help each of you understand how important you are as a citizen and how important your informed vote is to sustaining a democratic polity. All right, we just have our 3 assignments this week, the forum, the study guide, and the quiz. So work hard and bring your confusion to the forum, where I will try to clean things up. Also remember, we have our Unit 2 exam coming up next week, so take the time to start organizing your study. Let's have a great week.